Okay, we are recording back with Quincy for, I don't know, is this our fifth or sixth talk? Something.
You know what? I actually don't know either. I just know that I miss talking to the big homie, and I'm
Right,
glad that we are doing this. You know what I
right,
mean?
right, right. Yeah, we'll do our thing. So I got the recording going, and we've had, to say the least, a whole lot of stuff going on, and uh, you've seen stuff. You're on the road, so give us, before we go into the deep dive, give us a couple of minutes on the state of trucking, and does the country look different? All the stuff going on, has it affected you? Give the class, so to speak, a little bit of a last month in the trucking world and what your eyes have been able to discern.
All right. Well, first off, yeah, obviously, it does look different now. Because a lot of places are requiring a mask, which I mean, I don't like it, but then again, I don't have to like it. I
Right.
just saw some people on Twitter because I said that exact same thing. I look here. I may not like it, but I don't have to like it.
Mm-hmm.
Putting on this BS mask that I've never washed to clean because that's how little I care.
Right.
And putting on this mask means that I get out of the warehouse that much quicker. You know what I'm saying? All right,
Mm-hmm.
man. Yeah, bro. First of
Right.
all, it's going maybe 5 or 10 minutes or something. I'm not about to trip over 5 or 10 minutes. I can't speak on others, the ones that have to wear the mask
Mm-hmm.
all damn day, like the ones who work in the truck stop, the ones who are working behind the counter, they got to keep that mask on all day. That sucks,
Right.
and I don't have a legit answer for that other than, maybe another job, I don't know.
Right.
I'm just saying, from my point of view, again, I'm just grateful and humble where I don't have to wear it, uh, 8, 9, whatever hours a day. Which today is Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Saturday. I was in Missouri going to one of my little Walmart spots just to get some groceries. Got stopped right out the front door. Hey man, is there any reason why you can't wear a mask? I'm like, wow, it's mandatory. Like, yeah. I'm like, all right, man. So
Mm-hmm.
I pull out this dirty, and I mean dirty mask that I've had for about a good month.
Right.
I don't know if you can see this dirty ass thing and
Yeah.
everything. It's down as hell.
Yeah.
But
It looks
hey,
like, yeah.
uh, y'all didn't say wear a clean mask. You said wear a mask. Okay,
Right.
I got I got you down.
Yep.
Whatever. Get
Yeah.
in, get out, and my life wasn't affected too damn much.
Right.
Uh, I I I get people's reasoning for not wanting to wear it, for not wanting to wear it. This
Mm-hmm.
is America. We live in a free. I get all that. What these folks got to realize, that some of these folks I consider good friends, you're entering a private company. They can conduct business any way that they see fit. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's not the state forcing them to it,
Mm-hmm.
because the state can only enforce laws on public property. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if a private company says, hey, you want to come inside, you got to wear a mask. You got two choices: either wear the mask or go someplace else. And quite honestly, as a customer, I'm really not tripping over the 5 to 20 minutes that I may have to wear that thing.
Right.
And I like it, but again, I pay the cost to do business. It's
Yeah. And
really as simple as that.
and the way I always see it, because I'm not a mask guy, I think a lot of the Corona stuff has been overblown. I think the reaction is way, way too severe. I mean, I've
So
never seen anything like it.
I think it's
But
been
I tell,
orchestrated.
yeah, oh, a lot of it is for sure. It's a power trip for some of these people. Older people, I think, need to be careful. But
Mm-hmm.
the way like in your situation, if you're going into a warehouse, or if I have to go to work, let's say we go back to the school building and they want us wearing a mask at certain places or at certain times, I'm not about to sacrifice my job or pick a huge fight to, it's maintaining my income. I'm not gonna, um, because as they're a private company, I am a private citizen. And I think in a year or two, when they write the book on coronavirus and COVID, I think there's going to be a really good investigative reporter, a Michael Tracy, one of these guys like, I don't know, maybe like a Glenn Greenwald. One of these people should really dig deep, Matt Taibbi, and see what kind of motivation is going on here. Because, and this leads us actually to our next point, our next premise, because the people that tell us what to do, you, Quincy, saw, as I did, we are being told what we have to say, when we have to kneel, what we are allowed to put on social media, and how we're supposed to think and feel. And my premise was, we've got, 7 to 10 years, and people are going to just start siloing themselves and separating themselves in what used to be called these United States. There is no way some statue burning, screaming, pink-haired progressive who's going to force me to wear a mask, take a knee, say these certain words, right? They're firing people for saying all lives matter. So I don't want to live in that world, and I'm not, right? So I think what has happened in the last month, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, solidifies my premise that we are on the end game of a union of 50 states. Am I more right or more wrong? What do you think?
You know what? We actually spoke about this a couple podcasts ago.
Yep.
About succession. I'm starting to believe that while it may not be like a legal process of succession, we are going to see a mass migration of people moving from either this area to that area, or vice versa. Meaning that it's going to be a bunch of liberal wearing pink pussy hat crowd,
right,
that is going to move to where they feel more comfortable among their own kind, like say Seattle, Portland, SoCal, things like that.
right.
There's going to be people like me and you that's just like, yeah, I don't want any part of that. So wherever they're not doing that, that's where I'm going to be at. Like say upstate New York, south out to Utica. I was just there last month, and if the weather wasn't so effed up, taxes too. I think, it's a very nice area. I spent the weekend up there. Nice area, great food. Being that I am single now, I am looking at land somewhere.
Interesting.
Yes, because the sure as shit ain't making me. Okay, sorry. This is a very tight parking lot,
Right.
and if you can and will somebody, but I didn't get it. So yeah, I'm looking at a few states. Knoxville, Tennessee, that area was up there. But then I did some research about the citizens who live there, which don't disrespect if you're from that area, but there's a reason I keep meeting a lot of people on Twitter who are from that area, but they don't live in that area no more. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna leave it at that. Oklahoma was up there for a moment, and I was just like, I really want to sit down roots in Oklahoma. I don't know, but it is damn dirt cheap to live in Oklahoma, and I mean dirt cheap.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh my God, dude! I found a 2-2 log cabin sitting on 12.5 acres for $91,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And it's like that all over. But you got to bear in mind, a lot of these places are in the tornado alley and everything.
Right.
So just like, I don't know. So right now, I mean, Texas is definitely in the running. Southern Colorado looking good, because I forgot all about that area. Southern Colorado is nice. Doesn't get that much snow. And believe it or not, there are some counties in Colorado that are heavily red and but still super chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, believe it or not, and I know this from personal experience, there's a lot of Republicans that smoke weed and are just down to earth, but they'll never admit that in public on camera. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, right now I'm living in the truck until March, my birthday, just stacking up money, and in the springtime I'll make the final decision.
Interesting. Yeah, because we have recently, um, uh, candidate Joe Biden was asked, would you make wearing masks mandatory? And he said yes. And the interviewer was like, you mean you would make it a national policy that everyone has to wear a mask all the time? And he said, yes, I would use federal mandate to see to it that every American has to wear a mask at all times. Now, this is after 10 weeks in a row of the death rate, not cases, the death rate going down 10 weeks straight. You know, because they're testing more people, the number of cases, whatever a case is, right? It's just a case, not a hospital admittance, not an emergency room visit, a case. So the corporate press is screaming about cases. They're not mentioning the death rates, which have gone down. And then the Democratic candidate for president says, I want to force Americans to wear masks at all times. That's not, again, it's not a place I want to be. I cannot, I mean, this is somebody who is obviously just on some kind of power trip, or his handlers are telling him what to say. Because I don't know about you, but I'm in liberal utopia socialist New York City. And
Yeah,
depending upon what neighborhood I'm in, like when I'm in the rougher neighborhood, 40% of the people are wearing masks, 60% aren't. When the Dominicans are in the park at the corner, nobody is wearing a mask. They got the balloons,
hell
they got the
no.
tables. Nobody's wearing a mask. People are just checking out, man.
Yeah,
Something's on the way.
man, listen, bro. There's been a few warehouses I've been at that will have signs say wear a mask, and they got up to look glass protectors, which the true winners of this virus are whoever are making those little plastic protectors, because they're making money hand over fist.
I
A
know
lot of money.
we missed the boat. I know.
Yes, man, they are getting paid. But it's been a few. As a matter of fact, this warehouse I was at in Washington, you gotta wear a mask to come inside. And then I get inside, and they're not wearing a mask.
Right.
Or it's like just covering their mouth, or they just got it hanging off the ear. I'm just like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, I get it, but at the same time, take the sign down, bro. Like, come on, man.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
I think they have the sign up though, so they don't get in trouble. Like I'll go.
that
I'm not a
that may
mask
be it.
guy. The odds of me getting coronavirus at this stage, now it's mid-July, are effectively zero. At my age, at 48, my lifestyle, forget about it, not going to happen. But there are vendors, there are restaurants. Again, I'm here in New York City. I live in the Bronx, where they say you can't come in without a mask. And rather than raise a fuss, rather than, have some Karen walking by with her cell phone and start recording me going into the store or the restaurant that I love without a mask, I put it on and give them my money. Can't stand Karen, man.
Well, listen, first of all, I have yet to have somebody come up to me with their phone. I brought my language, but I wish motherfucker would, because I don't have time for that at
Right,
all. I'm just gonna keep on walking.
right,
If you put hands on me, it's gonna be a bad day for both of us.
right,
Okay, because I'm going to jail, you're going to the hospital,
right,
and that's not a threat. That's an announcement. Keep your hands off me unless you want to go to the ER. Leave
right,
me alone.
right,
Leave the hell alone.
right,
Um, Again, back to the whole mask thing. The only time I'm wearing it is when it's required. A lot of places, it's not, they're not requiring, but they'll say, oh, wearing masks is encouraged. Wearing a mask is preferred. Yeah.
right.
Um, every truck stop I've been into, it's not been uh, required, but encouraged. No, I already have nothing encouraged. I'm good.
Mhm,
I will I will gladly and boldly walk into a truck stop with no mask. And
mhm.
yeah, I actually get a couple stares and whatnot, but people leave me the hell alone,
Right,
because I just project. I don't have time for your BS.
right,
Go away. Just go away.
right,
Um, there's a lot of truck drivers who don't like wearing it. There's also some idiots that are Oh yeah, I'll go to work, man. I ain't gonna wear it when I'm driving. So wait, you're telling me in your vehicle, nobody else around, windows
Right.
up, you kind of mask.
It doesn't
Okay?
make any sense. That makes no
No, it does
sense.
not. No, it doesn't make sense. But because the media told them to do it, well, hell, they must be good at the media says it, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And as far as Biden goes, listen, at this point, Joe can say whatever the hell he wants to because he's not winning. He's not. He's not winning.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still have a standing offer. I will bet anybody anything. Joe Biden is not getting sworn in January.
Right.
Nobody is taking me up on that bet because they know, yeah, Joe's not winning.
Right.
It's not happening. Okay. It's going to be Trump, no matter how much you don't like that, no matter how much you go piss and moan. It's going to be Trump. So now what? Are you going to keep on bitching and moaning? Or are you going to make a plan to make sure that you are secure in your belongings should he get reelected? Which
Hmm.
a lot of people aren't doing. That's where I'm at now. And I've been there for a minute. I don't give a damn who wins.
Hmm.
Whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden, I still got a damn job to do, and I'm going to do it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And if that means I got to, fracture or even break one of your laws, whatever.
Yeah.
I have work to do. You
Yeah.
know,
They just seem I'm not sure if it's the people at the top of the pyramid stirring the pot, if they're doing divide and conquer so hard. It just seems with all the BLM stuff, the statues, they're
so
pitting
wait,
white versus black. They're really pushing hard. I've never seen it like this.
notice, hey, but you notice all that stuff only gets ramped up in the summertime. I've been
Right.
noticing that the past 3-4 years,
Yep.
shit like this only comes up in the summertime. Like you rarely hear about a Black Lives Matter protest in Seattle in the winter. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I noticed this right after the incident with Michael Brown. I'm like, all right, come NFL. You didn't hear that much about it. Yeah, you heard about Kaepernick and his deal
Hmm.
and blah blah blah, but nothing to the extent it was in the summertime. You know what I'm saying? So like every summer, I'm just like, all right, here we go again.
Yep.
Which black man is it going to be now? That's
Right.
going to stop out of police. It's going to be the rallying cry for all that's going on.
Right.
Which let me tie that into this gentleman, Minneapolis, George Floyd.
George Floyd. Right.
It sucks that he's dead. It sucks that he is dead. It sucks that yet another black man has died at the hands of a police officer. However, a lot of people's anger are misguided.
Yeah.
How can you justify burning down somebody's show that had nothing to do with that man's life or stuff? I don't get that. It's like when they burnt down the police station, I'm not gonna lie, I was happy about that because you put your anger where it was needed at
Right.
the police. Why didn't you keep it there?
Right.
Now you're burning down, small businesses or even corporations that, even or not, they still had nothing to do with that man's life or his death. So
Right.
why you set it on fire? The kind of stuff, I don't think Target is an evil corporation, but whatever. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
This whole blocking the highways, yeah, I either go around it or
Hmm.
I go before or after it,
Hmm.
because you are not about to catch me being caught up in traffic behind a highway being blocked. I'm damn sure not gonna just sit there while you beat on my truck.
Right.
Okay, I had put this on Twitter and I can't believe I didn't get suspended for this. I'm like, look, you beat on my tractor trailer or you try to get me out of the truck, I'm gonna floor it and
Right.
not give a damn who or what I hit in the process.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if you've seen that video of that one dude in the red truck. He
Yep.
was driving in Minneapolis, and
I don't know
they
why he
pulled him
stopped.
out.
Why he
Thank you.
stopped.
I don't know why he stopped.
That makes no sense, man. I'd have been on the gas pedal and leaning on the horn. You guys have those loud horns that rip your
Yes,
hair
we do.
off if you're too close. Man, lean on that thing. Keep it moving and do not stop. That made no sense at all, man. That was just ridiculous.
I'm not even going to slow down. Okay, because even that going 5-10 miles an hour, that's slow enough for you to get beside me and try to slash my tires or something.
Yep, that's right.
No sir, no sir,
Right.
no sir. I don't know if you remember when the LA riots
Yep.
happened and Reginald Denny got pulled
Right.
out.
Yep, and beaten within an inch of his life. I think he survived, but was
He
permanently
survived.
damaged.
Okay, he actually survived. He's alive to this day. He is doing construction now, but you're right. He's never going to be the same.
Right.
And I watched that attack in real time
Yep.
as it was happening. I
Yep.
was 16 and just like, man, this like up, man.
Yep.
And it just stuck with me because I'm just like, that is never going to be me.
No.
And at the time, I'm just like, well, of course it's never going to be you. You're not a truck driver. Now I'm a truck driver. And I'm still saying that's never going to be me.
Right.
Okay? I see a car ahead of me. First and foremost, I'm going to see if I can get off at an exit, before I even get to you. Okay? But if I can't get to an exit, okay, if I can't go around you, then I'm going to go through you, and y'all can call me a monster all you want. Don't care, man. Self-preservation is key.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna just sit in my truck and wait to get my ass whooped and or die. And people were saying, "Oh, property can be replaced, a life cannot." You're right, a life cannot be replaced, which is probably why it's not a good idea to run up on a big ass piece of machinery like the truck or
Right.
the tractor and trying to get that driver out of them to do whatever.
Right.
Because
For
let's
whatever
be
reason.
honest, they're not putting us off the truck to tell us that we're doing a good job.
Right. Right. Because that's the thing. You're like, well, life can't be replaced and property can. Yeah. Well, your life and all the other drivers' lives, they can't be replaced either. And I'm sorry, if you have a tragedy like you had in Minneapolis, to stop traffic and beat people in their vehicles, that's not someone who's angry about what happened in Minnesota. That's not the case.
Yeah,
That's somebody being told cause chaos. No human
yeah,
in the world. Oh, I'm angry. Let me go to Quincy Johnson's truck, pull his ass out of the cab, and try to give him a whoop ass because I'm angry about what happened in Minnesota. There is no
yeah.
way
Well,
that that's the
how
truth.
is that? Yeah, how is that honoring George Floyd's death? You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Answer: it is.
It isn't.
Okay, like everybody's telling me what I shouldn't do in that situation. Nobody has said what they would do in that situation.
Right.
I mean, think about it. You're in your personal vehicle. Somebody just comes up, get up the car, man, get up the car.
Right.
And you're just going to sit there and let them keep their property, or you can tear you up.
Right.
I'm not, you
Right.
know. Now, I know for a fact, and I'm not going to say no names, but there are more than a few truck drivers who are carrying guns.
Yes.
And flat out told me I will blow their effing heads off
Right.
if they come near me. My situation, well, I'm not going to get deep into it. Let's just say that as a company driver,
Right.
legally they won't let me carry a firearm
Right.
on their property, which is the truck.
Right.
But they ain't say nothing about this though.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This cookery from Nepal, I put this bitch to a watermelon, one swipe. Okay?
I thought it was a can opener.
Yeah, nah, this is strictly for
Yeah.
self-defense right there. That bad boy will go through you like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna see what else I got, but let's just say I'm covered.
Right. You have your
I'm
insurance policy.
covered.
Right.
You're damn right I got
Yeah.
insurance policy.
And the weird part, Quincy, here's another weird part of this, because and it leads to what we were talking about with kind of like division, and I don't know about secession, right, as we're talking about, but certainly a division. I bring up Mackay James, which is a name that nobody knows. And he was the 3-year-old little boy that was killed in Chicago on a random weekend. It might have been Father's Day weekend. It might have been July 4th weekend. He was 3 years old, a child, 3, Makai James. I've memorized his name on purpose because people are telling me, and the corporate press is telling me, that Makai James, his life doesn't matter. There's no national outcry. There's no coordinated worldwide protest for a 3-year-old life snuffed out. But you have George Floyd, again, tragic, but hardly a pillar of humanity. And the world gets lit on fire. And BLM gets tossed out there as spray painted on the wall near where I live. And Makai James goes down and nothing. And here's the part that really bothers me. We're being told that to bring that up is not okay. You're not allowed to say, well, what about Makai James dying at age 3 in inner city Chicago in Chirac? No, you get in trouble for that. I find that despicable. I find it hypocritical. And again, I am not going to be told what to do by a citizen or a politician who feels that that's okay, that I have to put on a mask, I have to kneel, I have to say the right words when their chosen victims are killed. But when Makai James goes down, a potential lost to some nonsense, I have to not only be quiet, I have to think the correct thoughts. That to me is not a tenable situation. And I'm going to put Makai James in everybody's face and ask, well, what about him? And then put them on the spot, because I've had enough. I've had enough of people saying that, oh, only these 9 Black people killed every year by police officers, which, let's face it, is 9 too many. But those are the ones that we're angry at. 9 is a slow Friday night in Chicago. It's a slow Wednesday night in Baltimore. But those don't matter. I'm told that that's what I have to think. I'm not going to do it. I know you're not. I know you're not some kind of shrinking violet punk going to be told what to say and what to think and when to take a knee. It's just not a situation that can last.
You know, I'm glad that you brought up Chicago because now I can speak on this. Hopefully, this doesn't cause a rift. I am done talking about Chicago because now it it just has turned into what about us, and that's something that I don't subscribe to. It's like there's a whole lot of people who are talking about Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time they're not doing a damn thing to curtail the problem in Chicago. Okay, it's like people keep bringing up black on black crime, and I'm just letting them know, like, hey man, there is no such thing as black on black crime. It's crime. People forget that people rob other people who live close to them. So of course, black people are going to do crimes against other black people, just
Mm-hmm.
like other races are going to do crimes against their other races. Do they cross racial boundaries from time to time? Well, yeah, but by far and large, crimes stay in the race of the person doing the crime. So it's like black on black crime, yeah, okay. Most crimes against white people are committed against white people.
That's
Same
correct.
goes for Asians. Same goes for Asians, and every other nationality here in this world. So it's like me personally, I don't even engage people anymore who want to talk about black on black crime. Just like, what, you mean crime? Yes, Chicago has an issue. Okay, Chicago does have an issue. I will admit that freely. But to bring that up in juxtaposition about George Floyd, when we both know you're not doing a damn thing about either one of them,
Mm-hmm.
other than putting your fist in the air and giving a 3-word chant, that kind of comes off as hypocritical. Now, to the ones that are doing something, or at least trying to do something about the violence in Chicago, bravo,
Mm-hmm.
keep it up. You know what I'm saying? But if all you're doing is just sitting around and tweeting about it, that's not really helping, big fella. Hey,
Right.
you do you. You do you. I'm just saying, me personally, well, pardon me, I do not talk about Chicago anymore because that's all it is for me. Talk. It's not like I'm gonna run up there and go
Mm-hmm.
do something. I mean, I actually was in Chicago last month, like right near downtown. But luckily, both of my deliveries were uh late at night. One was 1 in the morning, and got done at 3 o'clock on the south side of Chicago. And then the other one was, like you said, right near um, downtown. I actually got to go over the bridge in the Blues Brothers that they jumped over. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got to drive over that bridge. That was
Uh huh.
kind of cool.
Right.
And I parked like right across the river from downtown Chicago. Didn't really have an issue, but then again, that area was starting to get gentrified.
Hmm.
But it's people are just becoming a echo chamber now on both sides. It's like if you are tired of hearing about, you know what I'm saying, the murder of George Floyd, and you bring up Chicago, that's a bad thing. And if you reverse it, that's a bad thing too. So I'm
Right.
just like, you know, quit quit talking about Chicago if you're not gonna do a damn thing to help that city. Because you're I mean it just
But no, I hear you. I think the flaw in that, and I'm not a fan of whataboutism because it's one of these progressive rhetorical tricks that is supposed to get people like us to not bring up their hypocrisy. That's where that came from. But the other thing is, what I think the flaw in what you were talking about is, I get it. I get what you're saying. I don't want the back and forth of, oh, well, this happened, and then, well, look at over here, this happened. The difference is what we are allowed, or what anyone is allowed to do on places like social media, in public places, that you're and the reaction, like the city was not burned down because of Mackay James getting killed,
right,
but
right,
much
right.
of the United States and other countries, those people were not only given a license to burn down, law enforcement was told to stand down, businesses ruined, lives ruined, because of, we were told that the Floyd stuff is that matters, and you have
I almost
to.
feel like it was
Yeah.
planned, huh?
Yeah, well, you think so, right? That's another thing you're not allowed to talk about. That the overlords have a plan for us, the rabble, and it doesn't include us enriching ourselves or living like free people. But it's not the whataboutism thing. It's the reaction. That's the issue. And then to double on it, I mean, look at the person that got fired for saying all lives matter, right?
You
I
know
mean,
what?
you've got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. So that's why I bring up the
Okay,
Mackay
okay, you
James
know what?
stuff.
I would totally admit, yeah, that's a crappy reason to get fired. But
Yeah,
again, it all goes back to a private company. If he's working in a at will state, which I don't know what state they were in, and because I didn't follow up on it. But if you're working in a freaking in a at will state, that company can fire you at will for any reason or no reason. And while it may suck, if the company says, hey, you can't say all lives matter when you're on the clock, you better keep that shit to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Which, you can pick and choose your battles how you see fit. I'm just going to refer back to, I'm going to do what I got to do to get my job done. And say again how humble I am and grateful I am that I'm in the industry and work for a company that don't give a damn about none of that crap.
right, right. That's right.
Um,
That's a good place to
it,
be.
yeah, as far as shutdowns, I haven't seen any pop. Well, okay, yes, I've seen Black Lives Matter on the side of one of these trucks.
Hmm.
Uh, I've seen some American flags being flown on the
Right.
side of trucks and everything, or a Trump flag or something like that. But that's just rare, and I
Mm.
mean rare, rare, rare.
Right.
Georgia West, we're just like, whatever. You got 500 miles to go out today. We're not really caring. We are removed from the situation. Or some of us, like I said, we just don't care,
Right.
you know. And I think both the sides are being used as pawns
Yes.
and or puppets by the people that be.
Right.
I just don't have time for that. It's like I've been there.
Hmm.
Fully admit in my younger days, yeah, I was a pawn. I was the dude getting on. worked up over stuff that had nothing to do with me at
Right.
all, letting somebody else control my emotions in my life.
Right.
And now I'm at the point like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna
Hmm.
live my life how I see fit. I'm not gonna have, knee jerk reactions, you know what I'm saying, or be told like you, be told how I should or should not feel
Right.
about a certain situation. It's just not gonna happen.
Right. I notice, and I like it that you mentioned that the idea of planning something, that you're open to the idea that some of this stuff gets planned, because a lot of people are unwilling to make that step. If some of the stuff is planned and there is some kind of agenda, let's say, I haven't been quite, other than divide and conquer, I haven't been able to figure anything out. Do you have any idea? Is it just to get rid of Trump? What is the end game to this
I think
crazy stuff that's been going on? What's the agenda?
okay.
What's the plan?
I think what it is they're just ramping up efforts to get us divided. I I'm not gonna say it's all about Trump because a lot of the things that are popping up, yeah, they've been heightened because of Trump, but a lot of it was happening way before Trump pulled up. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It's like people acting like it was all lollipops and rainbows before Trump, and
Right.
like just in his 4 years, it's going to crap. Like, no, get out of here, man. Like I knew uh something was up. Well, I started to transition, I would say,
Right. Right.
and this is back when me personally, I was still being a hypocrite. So I remember he was saying, the last guy, Obama, if I had a son, he would look like Trayvon Martin.
Ah, yes, I remember that. Yep.
And then like 6 months later, Chicago, which again I feel admit I was being a hypocrite about this. There was a 9-year-old child named Tyshawn Lee.
Yes.
Um, he was killed over something his punk ass daddy did, which is like,
Oh man.
listen, as somebody, what I'm saying, who was in the game,
Right.
what of the game is that? Where you're
Right.
killing kids over something that your enemy did.
Right.
Okay? I grew up in the era, in the freaking era where if somebody did you wrong, you don't go after their peoples, you go
Right.
after them.
Right.
And you always left kids alone.
Right.
Okay? Again, the era I grew up in, no kids, no women. You leave them out of it. You leave them out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, damn, man. So you trying to tell me a member of a rival gang in an effort to get back at this dude,
Right.
you go at the dude directly, you pick on this innocent 9-year-old kid? Are you nuts? And and
That's
and
crazy.
again, that dude Obama, he didn't say a damn thing about it. Because
Right.
I remember there was some outrage about it for about half a
But
second.
very little.
Yeah, because I remember the Chicago police chief. Yeah, this isn't gonna go away. Whoever did this, they just signed their own death warrant.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, they might actually go to do something.
Right.
Here it is, 2020. His killer's never been found. They don't even talk about that shit no more.
Right.
But I digress. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's just, yeah. I absolutely do believe that this has been set up, what I'm saying, by the powers that be
Mm-hmm.
to get people to feel a certain way. Because my whole thing is, you want to talk about, all lives matter, all murders matter. You know what I mean? So it's just
Right.
like, what are we doing, man? I mean, George Floyd was not the only person that died in America that day, but
Right.
we're only focusing on that one. I, I mean, I'm not, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there
Because
are a
a
lot
lot
of people that want to get Trump out.
right.
I fully admit that. I don't think it's gonna happen. Because even though this is happening with the whole Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and that damn chop zone
Yep.
in Seattle, which let me give a shout out to a dude, Dan, who actually lives up there in Chinatown, right,
Wow.
like three blocks away from the chop zone. He's living in a war zone. He's like, dude, I can't even go out my house anymore, man. He's like, he went out and tried to record everything, and like immediately got surrounded by their security force.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, where's your permit to film, man? You shouldn't be filming.
Are you
I'm on.
serious?
Yeah, yeah,
That
man.
that didn't come out in the news. That's like draconian government boot on the throat. That doesn't sound like freedom. That doesn't sound
Well,
like,
you got to remember.
this utopia they're talking about.
Well, he's also a white guy. So if it happens to a white guy, it's okay. Remember that. The media said that. If it happens to a white guy, we don't care,
Right.
apparently.
That's true.
Uh, but yeah, I think, with all this happening, it's same soup, just reheated, man.
Mm,
I mean, again,
yeah.
it happened last year. It happened the year before that. Like, you remember the summer when all those cops were getting shot? You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? Like they had 5 cops shot in Dallas and
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
You know, anything happening behind that? No, no.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, they're just rehashing the same old tricks,
Right.
especially with this being an election year. We're already hearing the same old talking points. This
Mm-hmm.
is the most important election of our lifetime. You have
Mm-hmm.
to make your voice be heard.
Yep. Every election is the same thing. Every election is the most important election in the world. And you know what the weird part is? Um, people are always talking about how dumb Trump is, and none of that's obviously somebody who's not. I mean, they're not being you whether a person likes Trump or not is irrelevant. He's playing his political cards very, very well. For him to not send troops into Chop or Chaz or any of the burning cities was perfect. Let the local people handle it. Let the local citizens deal with it. And now, yesterday, it came out the Minnesota politicians requested $500 million from Trump, and he said no, which I think is brilliant because they told their police to stand down. They told their people to do nothing. They were afraid of being called racist and sending in law enforcement to stop the riots and the burning. And Trump's like, all right, you made your bed, now sleep in it. That's actually supposed to be how it's done, and very silently, because you've been around the block a few times. White people protest too, but we protest silently. And there are a lot of people who even may be left of center who are like, good, let them foul their nest. And then when they ask, quote unquote, literally Hitler or Orange Man bad for money, then Orange Man says no. And, a lot of white folk aren't going to post anything on social media. They're not going to say a word to anybody, but they will, quote unquote, protest and say good. And, people were surprised when Trump won in 2016. They're going to be floored when he wins by a bigger margin in 2020. And it's going to be stuff like this. Case
Man,
closed. The dude is playing his cards well. And anyone who, like, I don't usually talk like a middle school kid, but anyone who thinks otherwise is just stupid, because it's a real smooth play because it's only July. So you won't see pro-elect rhetoric from the guy until the end of August, middle of September. You can write that in stone.
man, I gotta be honest with you. You gotta have some set of balls on you to get on camera and say fuck Donald Trump, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Donald Trump. Then when your district gets fucked up, hey Trump, what up, homie? Hey man,
Right.
listen, dude. I'm gonna need
Gi-
about $1
yeah.
billion.
Yeah.
You
Give me half a bill. Hey, Quincy,
you
you're a real punk. Now give me 10
you
bucks.
sure thing. Without you sucking from the back, you gotta have. I mean, you have some type of nerve to pull that crap off, man. Like, good lord, like, wow.
Yep. And that's what we're seeing.
You're telling me for 3 years it's been Orange Man bad, and now that the city's on fire,
Right.
hey, man, Trump decide we got $1
Yeah.
No,
Right.
no.
Yep.
First of all,
A cold no.
a cold no, hard no, you
Yep.
want to call it. Um, First of all, I mean, I'm against, federal spending of anything outside of the 18 enumerated powers. That's,
Right.
I mean, just right
Yep.
there, I could spend the whole hour talking about that.
Yeah. I know it.
But
I'm with
you're
you.
right. It is most definitely going to be Trump again. Probably in a landslide. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to say it's going to be the size of Reagan and Humphrey, but it could be pretty damn close. It could be pretty damn close because here's the thing. more people vote in the primaries than
Mm-hmm.
the general election.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the ones that do show up in the general election, most of them tend to lean to the right.
Yes.
Okay. Um, I don't think you'll see too many of the right staying home
Mm-hmm.
this year. I think the same people who voted in 2016 are going to be the same people voting in 2020.
Right.
I think it's going to be more. I honestly think you're going to see a lot of Bernie bros jumping ship
Hmm.
to Trump. Now, granted,
Interesting. Yeah.
now granted, a lot of them are going to stay home, but I have ran into people who are Bernie supporters who are voting for Trump just out of pure effing spite for
Yes.
how Bernie got treated. And
Shafted.
listen,
Yep. Shafted.
even I can admit, yeah, he got screwed in two elections. Even I can admit that. I'm not really a fan of him or
Mm-hmm.
nothing like that. But even I can admit, yeah, dude, you got screwed in 2016 and in 2020.
Yep.
There's a there's a lot of Bernie bros who are just like, you know what? I don't like neither one of them. I'm staying home. I'm cool with that.
Yep.
I made a bold prediction on Twitter, and boy, was my timeline in shambles behind it. I put out a tweet that said, just like in 2016, in 2020, there are going to be quite a few people who are going to blame Donald Trump being elected on black men staying home. You
Right.
know, and that's going to be a division tactic to try to divide black men versus black women.
Right.
I don't. Well, yeah, you're not on Twitter, but there is a lot of heavy talk, a lot of division between black men, black women,
Yes.
in
Yep.
particular straight black men, straight black women,
Right.
uh, gay black people, straight black people, black capitalists, black socialists, black Marxists. I mean,
It must be
it's
crazy. It must
it's
be out
effing
there.
stupid to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because I'm like, me personally, I'm down for my trial. I don't, I'm not really, you know, having to be on the same page with you, but if you're one of me, I'm gonna help you any way that I see fit. I don't have to talk it because I walk it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I've got little receipts of me supporting black-owned businesses every damn chance that I get. You know what I
Right.
mean? From Twitter and whatnot. So I mean, me personally, I'm not getting on Twitter, you know, tweeting that I'm mad at black women and or I'm mad at black. First of all, I don't argue with black women on Twitter. That's
Mm-hmm.
just stupid.
Yeah.
I will have a conversation with you, but if it gets to the point where like we're yelling the screen on all caps, you know what, sis? I don't have time for this, man. Go
Right.
to your thinking, and we're gonna freaking leave it at that. But
Yeah.
there is a lot of division being sown on social media, and I would gather to say real life. I haven't seen it as much, but I know that it is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it hasn't too much affected the trucking industry that much because there is some sort of a brotherhood and sisterhood.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to all the women truck drivers.
Right.
You're amazing. I love all of y'all. Okay, um, we are getting united. Um, and we're just like, look, no matter what happens, that load still has to be in Miami,
Mm-hmm.
Thursday afternoon. So let's go.
Right. Right. What
Okay.
about the defund the police thing seems to have faded a little bit. Some people have been calling it out and saying, "Oh, we see what you're doing. You're redirecting money to your cronies. You're talking about uh, things that simply cannot happen because they come up with these plans where, oh, with a domestic dispute, we're going to send in some social workers." And I'm not making that up. That's not an internet meme. That's what they're talking about. There's a list of things that are coded as to what they get calls for at the precinct, and they're like, okay, everything on this list, we're going to send social workers. And one of them was domestic like domestic arguments. That's ridiculous. First of all, who wants that job? I'm going to be an unarmed social worker. So and I'm going to go into a domestic dispute? That's 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 not realistic. That's not
No, it is
going
not.
to
No,
happen.
it is not.
And who's going to take, you couldn't pay me enough because I know I'm going to lose my life, especially in the bad neighborhood. You know what I'm talking about, going into some domestic dispute. And it's so unrealistic. It's so out there. And that's at least an obvious thing to kind of goof on. But now some people are even saying, hey, look, I see what you're doing. You're redirecting money to your friends in like quote unquote outreach. And the defund the police thing, which is arguably the only thing that, in my opinion, had some credibility because of the federalization and the weaponization of the police over the last 25 years. There, they actually had a real issue, and they've ruined it with all this other nonsense. I don't know if that's what you're seeing on Twitter, but that's how I see it. I see the only real topic that made sense with police brutality, them having immunity from prosecution, literally getting away with murder. The real topic is now gone. And now everybody's just sniping at, like they do on Twitter, like you see, the stuff that I see here and there. It's really a crying shame because there seems to be a method to their madness, and there doesn't seem to be a method to other people's madness.
Man, listen, bro. This whole defund the police. You know what? Fuck it. Okay, let's try it. Don't come bitching and moaning though.
Right.
If something happened and you are unable to take care of it yourself, and there's no cop around to help you.
Right.
Because this is exactly what you wanted.
That you called for it.
Yeah. Me personally, and I always keep bringing it back to the individual because I'm an individual. Okay, I will not put the needs and wants of the collective over me. Just can't do that.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to think. Last time that I actually called the police for anything, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I would have to say, you know what? No. Hold on, man. I'm looking at this dude trying to get in the parking spot. He's getting damn close. Okay, he made it. You know, I actually got hit in Washington last month, and I was not happy about that.
Yeah.
This dude bent my damn side mirror back. And I'm just like, dude, you gotta be more careful, man.
Yeah.
But as far as defunding the police, I'd be okay with that.
Well, it sends all the gun laws into the toilet because if you are saying, "Oh, well, you're not allowed,"
yeah,
right? If those
right.
laws are over, if you have no police, then who's going to, if the person down the street from me, I live in New York City, so all of us are not allowed to have. We're basically not allowed to have anything, and it takes forever to get a permit, right? Basically, you're not allowed to be armed. So, all right, if you defund the police, people with families are going to take matters into their own hands. And who's going to enforce the law that says you can't be armed? What police?
Yes.
Game over. Checkmate.
It's like that couple in St. Louis, I'm talking about the white couple that had the AR and the one with the gun. I have no problem with them protecting their property.
Right, me neither.
All of them peoples, a lot of cats, are mad at everything. They were on private property. That was a private road, private drive in a gated freaking neighborhood.
Yes.
So none of that was public property. It's all private property, and they were protecting it. And I have no issue with that.
Right.
Okay. Nobody got shot. You know what I'm saying? Hell, nobody even got shot at because again, the gun is a great equalizer. Okay.
Right.
Notice, for all the shit they was talking, nobody ran up on that cop.
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah, but now the DA. This is what I'm talking about with the breakup that I've been discussing. Is the district attorney lady is now going? They had a raid on that house to take the gun. They broke no laws, and now the local government has come in with, and it's police, has come in to take their weapon. So
And I think
where's
very
the defund the
quietly,
police people?
what is the thing? In that case, I think very quietly, maybe a month from now, you will see a story about the charges being dropped and their weapons being returned.
And hopefully they get restitution, because it's disgusting that local law enforcement would agree to follow the district attorney's lead and say, go in and raid them because we need the gun. That's crazy. That's just disgusting. And what you also didn't see in the news was that there was a second group that decided to come in, because, these people are not used to people standing up to them. These kinds of mobs are not used to people being armed and ready to defend. They're used to being able to do what they want, and local law enforcement and government allowing it to happen. So now these two come out armed, and they did it again when it wasn't in the press very much, but that couple got tipped off and had hired private security. So those people were again pushed back. And then the district attorney, this is really weird. It's almost like she wanted them to pay. So then she organizes the raid and comes in, raids their house to take that rifle away from the one that the dude was holding. That's not American. That's not a country I want to live in. That's not how I want to be. I'm telling you, I'm right. And in 10 years, I'm going to put it in your face, Johnson. And I'm going to tell you that I was damn right. And I said it in 2020.
You notice all this is happening. You notice all this is happening in the left areas. Like
Yes.
I remember that weekend that whole happened. Oh man, you see these damn Trump supporters. Man, both them two sons of bitches are lifelong Democrats. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
You cannot lay this at the feet of freaking Donald Trump.
Yep.
Because all these protests are happening in areas that are controlled by Democrats,
right,
and have been controlled by Democrats for a while. Which
right.
is why I don't get how, even when talking about Chicago, which I don't like doing,
right.
but I'm just like, how can you lay what's happening in Chicago at the feet of Donald Trump, or at the feet of any or at the feet of any Republican?
Right.
Chicago hasn't had a Republican mayor since the fucking 1800s.
Oh my God!
Okay?
Since the dinosaur era.
Yeah, and they haven't had a Republican city council in about 20, 30 years.
Right.
So how is this the fault of the freaking GOP?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I don't get.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just don't get it.
Well, eventually, what you're gonna where you see I think you correctly nailed it. You see all of this activity and nonsense going on in your kind of garden variety Democratic, liberal, progressive areas, and eventually people are going to say, okay, you do what you're going to do there. We're going to live our lives the way we live it here, in the same way that in rural West Virginia or countryside, Idaho, right, small town Montana.
Yep.
There's not you don't see those people coming in and rabble rousing there, and those people eventually are going to say, you know what? If you do come, we are prepared. We don't live like that. Stay away from us. And if you step on our private property, you're going to take a bullet. And I don't like talking like that, because I think it means the end of these United States. But I'm sorry, if I have to choose, I'm not going to be in the, I'm just going to let my mayor let the city burn, and I can't say certain things because it gets me, especially me. Look at me. I was born this color. I didn't do the Michael Jackson and bleach myself, right? I came out this way. I knew that would get your attention. And, so I'm not gonna be in a place where I have to be shamed all the time and have to live the way you tell me. So if I need to, go somewhere, well, I have the means to do it, and that's going to be the split. That's going to be the move. And it may not be official. It may just people ignoring commands from Johnny and Susie lawmaker. It might just be that.
It's funny you brought up Montana and Washington. I was actually just there last week. I actually spent the weekend. Yeah, I actually spent July 4th weekend in Post Falls, Idaho.
Oh.
Which is like like 20 miles from Spokane, Washington.
Okay.
They said, "The hell with your fireworks ban," and they lit that sky the f up.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, even in so-called blue states
Right.
that have red areas, the red areas, they're not, like I said, they are not protesting at all because yes, Washington is a liberal state ran by a liberal dude. Seattle's liberal.
Mm-hmm.
Spokane is red as a tomato.
Wow.
And yeah. I've got a buddy who lives in Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
That whole area from, let's say, the Idaho-Washington border
Mm-hmm.
to about let's say 100 miles east of Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
All that is like red. You know what
Wow.
I'm
I would
saying?
not.
Like,
I would not guess that. That's interesting.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And like freaking like Yakima and the Tri-Cities,
Mm-hmm.
they don't like what's popping off in Seattle. They definitely
Right.
don't like the mayor of Seattle or the governor of Washington. Hell, same goes for Oregon as well. There actually is a decent amount of red counties
Hmm.
in Oregon where I've seen some Trump flags or the Gadsden flag and everything like that.
Right. Right.
It's I've yet to see any type of Black Lives Matter protest
Mm-hmm.
or rioting or looting in a red area.
Mm.
Okay, like I go through Oklahoma, I don't see that shit.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, yeah, it's happening in Austin, and well, put it like this, I would say it's happening in the major cities of Texas,
Okay.
Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, Houston. You get out in the country, people just want to be left alone. You know what I
Right.
mean?
That's right.
And that's pretty much where I'm at with my whole views on politics. In general, I just want to be left alone, man. I don't have time for that BS. You know, um, so yeah, again, it goes back to my earlier point. I think you're going to start seeing a lot of people moving to where there are other like-minded people.
Right.
And while it may not be official, that would be the succession
Right.
that that me and you have been talking about.
Right.
Which is why, like I said, I put Oklahoma on the list because I mean they banned red flag laws. They have a constitutional carry,
Mm-hmm.
so to either conceal carry or to open carry, you need no permit. Just buy
Right.
your gun, you're good.
Yep.
Like I said, it is fucking dirt cheap to live there.
Yeah.
But we also gotta make sure find out where in Oklahoma because you don't want to get with a tornado.
Right.
Like southeast of Tulsa is looking good.
Hmm.
Right outside of OKC is looking awesome. But then again, it's Texas, big ass Texas that's looking good as well.
Right.
And like I said, southern Colorado, I found a spot. I'm actually gonna call them later on today.
Oh wow.
Dude, I'm not gonna give out the county that it's in, but it's 150,000 for 5 acres. It's rated for livestock, so you can grow crops,
And have a
have
ranch.
animals,
Yep.
guns,
Yep.
burn stuff, and no issue whatsoever.
Right.
Completely off grid. It's got
Right.
solar panels. It's got well water. It's got water access.
Oh
It's got
wow.
rainwater collection. Oh yeah. It's got rainwater collection. It comes with the RV on site and a tiny home and a storage shed that has a washer and dryer on it. I'm
Wow.
just like, yeah, I'm calling y'all today to find out how much you need for a down payment.
Right.
They're probably gonna be flexible on the price because it's been on Zillow for just about a year now.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm just like, all right, you say you want 150. I got 125 right now. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Well, my conservative libertarian white ass is going to be on their way now. So I'll torture you and get the address because you can see me there because that sounds like bliss. So
Yeah.
it's funny. We'll end with this because it's fascinating the way that we come to the same conclusion but through a different route. Because I tell teenagers, find like-minded people. have a like-minded circle of friends, because they'll ask me, what should I do? You know, because they see stuff, they see things going crazy, they see nonsense just as much as anybody else. And what they do ask is, what should, like a lot of young people, what should I do next?
Right.
And I tell them almost to a T what you just said, where it's find like-minded people, surround yourself with those people, and, you know, be comfortable with yourself, learn from your mistakes. And that's the best macro kind of advice that I can. So let's leave it there, because I've got the other call coming in.
I was
But
gonna say, like, you about to do a summer school with the kids, man.
right.
If you want to do what we did last time and
Ah,
add me in,
okay.
bro, I'm more than willing to talk to the youngins,
You know
because
what?
today's my off day. I'm
Right.
gonna be off all day Wednesday as well. If you got
Okay.
some popping up there too.
You know what we'll do is I'll do like that's perfect, because I can do we're in summer school through mid-August. So what we'll do is like an online career day, and I'll just patch you in, and we'll have like a Q&A like we did last time. I'll kind of advertise for it. I'll be like, I got this guy coming in, he drives a truck, he makes money, he gets paid, he can't be fired. Let's hear what he has to say. Dude, I'm in. Great idea.
You really got to screw up to get fired as a
Right.
freaking truck driver.
Right.
Like you really got to do something just dumbass stupid, bro.
Right. If you
And
get on
like
the CB, and you say all lives matter, will you be fired?
no,
Okay.
you might be called an asshole by some
Right.
people, but that'll
Okay.
be about it.
All right.
Yeah, this thing here, man, this thing here can be dangerous because some of these cats, which is it's one of my pet peeves. I'm like, if you're gonna be on the radio, be professional,
Right.
okay?
Right.
Like I was going through West Virginia yesterday, and these two truck drivers are going back and forth about which state had the best lot lizards. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, one dude put on a
Fail.
whole damn concert
Minus
on it.
10.
Oh yeah, dude, one dude put on a whole damn concert of Hank Williams. You know,
Right.
he had the CB radio freaking up to his speaker. I'm like, come on, dog.
Oh, oh,
I'm
no
like,
way.
will you keep this for business? But
Right.
again, the money's good. Actually,
Okay.
just got a raise.
Nice.
Uh, health insurance, company
Nice.
401k. Yeah, this industry is lit, man. So yeah, please add me on
Yep.
guess to that.
Okay, we'll do a career day. Quincy, again, I thank you very much for coming in. I'll post this, get you the link, and we'll do a career day. We may even talk before we do it, but
Okay.
let's get that going.
What the hell was that? Oh, ouch. Okay. Um, Before we go, again,
Mhm.
people, if you're watching this, listening to this, God says keep your head up. Don't let politics and Donald Trump or
Yep.
politics and Joe Biden
Right.
just ruin your daggone life. Focus
Yep.
on the positive. I'm not saying stick your head in the sand. I'm saying focus on the positive, okay?
Right.
Love yourself, love your family, love your wife, love your husband, love your
Mhm.
kids. Use this time wisely.
Right.
Again, if you're stuck in lockdown or quarantine, use this time to learn something new. Or use this time to freaking get in shape for something. You know,
Nice.
just don't waste your time
Okay.
because just like land, they ain't making any more time either, you know?
Hmm. All right, Quincy. Again, thank you. Let's talk soon. I'm gonna slide over to my noon class, and you and I'll be in touch, and we'll set up the career thing you're talking about for sure.
Peace.
You got it, boss. I'll talk to you next time, Chief. Thank you. I
All
appreciate
right.
it. You got it.
Thank you.
All right, bye.